ISM is violent adultism.
So Emmanuel's much taller than me. So my name is Amita, and as you heard, I am a student of public policy, which means that this is not my profession. I am not a film editor, and unlike some people, I wish they had told me before that we could get film editors. I edited my own film, but I want to back up a little bit and tell you about why I did this project. It's called Violent Adultism, and as you'll see from the title page, it's actually a dialogue about child sexual abuse in our society. So I'm a survivor. I'm 31 now, and I've been out as a survivor since I was 17. And because of that, people are constantly disclosing their abuse to me. If you know anything about child sexual abuse statistics, you know that it's estimated, I mean it's highly underreported, but it's estimated to be about 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience child sexual abuse by the time they're 18. And that's worldwide. So, you know, we could say that it's an epidemic level of violence. And yet, if I had $10 for every time somebody tells me, I've never told anyone this before, you're the first person that I told, I wouldn't have had to apply for a fellowship to go to graduate school. So, you know, I think about that a lot, and I think about now that I'm a student of public policy and really wanting to create good institutional responses to this violence, how to have dialogues with my colleagues about what effective policy might look like to treat child sexual abuse. And I realized that policymakers don't even have the right information compared to those of us who may have lived this experience to know what the reality is. So if a crime is so underreported that we don't even know how to study it and we don't have the right stories, where do we begin to actually respond to it as a society? And that's why, even though I'm not a filmmaker, I decided to do a media-based project. Thank you. So it's actually a 3-part project. This is one short piece of it. I actually connected with 4 other survivors, 2 of whom are in the audience today, so thank you, RJ and Di. I can't see where you're sitting, but thank you for being here. And we're actually now a cast telling our stories through oral history through a theater project that is being produced by Ping Chong and Company. If you want more information about the project, it's called Undesirable Elements, Secret Survivors. And we actually, 2 weeks from now, have a work in progress of our full production, and we need to raise money for it. Theater in New York is very expensive. This is also, policy students don't learn about how expensive it is to produce theater, but that's what my semester has been spent learning. So if you would like to make a donation, it is tax deductible. You can find information about it online. You can come see me. I will hang out in the back if you're moved by this. But we think it's a really good way to get more survivors throughout the country to start telling their stories. We're actually going to be presenting our play in Detroit at the US Social Forum this summer, and hopefully be able to train survivors in other cities about how to do this work. And then finally, I'm about to stop talking, but the last piece that I do want to tell you about is that we've set up a website, and at the end of the film you'll see that come up as well, or you can just find me in the back and get the address for it. It's a space for survivors everywhere to tell their stories anonymously if they like, and they can just submit the form on our website. We're going to be collecting people's narratives. Let me tell you a little bit about what this film is about then. I wanted to share with people at NYU what it's like to be me, who is a survivor who is out, who people are constantly talking to about this issue that nobody talks about, even though it is so common. And so I thought, well, you know, child sexual abuse has been in the media a lot lately. You hear about it with the church scandal. Precious, of course, came out, and Mackenzie Phillips talking about it on Oprah. And then if anyone saw Oprah this week, Monique, actually, her brother was on Oprah and had finally admitted publicly that he did sexually abuse his sister Monique when she was a kid. So it's all over the media, and yet we don't talk about it in private, and we don't necessarily look at the way media is representing the issue compared to what maybe our friends or ourselves have gone through. And so what I've created is a short 8-minute long film based on about 14 interviews I did, mostly with NYU students, talking about this issue that very few people ever want to engage in dialogue about. And I hope that it will make all of you go home and think about the issue, and if you know somebody who has been through child sexual abuse, to maybe start a dialogue with them. Thank you.